guys, my name's Owen and I'm a third year astrophysics student in UCD. I guess I'm here to talk to you today a bit about my course and certain paths and ways I came in to becoming an astrophysicist. I'm currently finishing up my third year and I've enjoyed it so much so far. It's been a great experience. It's taught me a lot of things from an education standpoint and from a social standpoint as well. I guess I should start off with the reason I chose UCD. Initially I wasn't going to choose UCD. Actually, it wasn't even on my radar until I came to the 2017 Future U All Summer School. I think that's the title of it. And there I was shown, they had a bunch of workshops and different days and talks and tutorials and stuff like that on various different aspects of college. So stuff in all different lines of STEM, and it really kind of opened my eyes to what part of science I wanted to go into, because I always knew I was going to do computer science engineering or something along the lines. And the facilities as well were fantastic, and it really showcased it. But the big thing I think that pushed me over the edge for going to UCD compared to other institutions in Ireland was their disability supports. I met with most major institutions in Ireland and got like tours and stuff like that, but none came close in comparison to UCD and how they facilitate people who have specific needs or challenges, and they're very great at making it a level playing field for everyone. So I think that was kind of the thing that pushed me over the edge for UCD in terms of my choice. I want to go on to hopefully study, further my studies in what I'm not sure quite yet. It's either aerospace engineering in Colorado is one of the things on the table, or maybe a PhD in UCD, or further studies in masters in space science or something like that. So it's kind of I'm a bit in between, but something related with the field of space and what I've already studied in my undergraduate degree is where I'm heading. Talking to you a little bit about the course. Our course is the UCD's science courses are very kind of awesome in the way that they present themselves. So you come in first year and you have about, I think it's around 26 degree options. I'm not quite sure. There's a huge amount of choice across various different streams and disciplines, and kind of as you go through you narrow it down. So starting out you have maybe 16, 17 choices at the start of first year. First semester, first year, you cut down a few. Second, by the end of second year, you have basically a couple, maybe 3 or 4. So for me, it was theoretical physics, astrophysics, applied computational mathematics, and pure physics. And I think I had education and mathematics as well open. And then at that point, you choose which degree you want to pursue. But up until that point, you have a lot of variability and maneuverability in what you want to do, and you can try a bunch of stuff. So the classes for the first 2 years are a bit subject to change depending on what you choose and which way you want to go about it. For myself, it was astrophysics, and then in third year, it kind of works differently. Is you've got less classes and more lab time. So in the first 2 years, you do your labs as part of the classes, and it usually takes about 50% of the grade. Whereas in third year, you just have lab time. So you have your classes, which have like kind of 80% final exams, 20% assignments, and then in third year you have these 20 credit modules. So in a UCD year, you need to make up 60 credits to go on to the next stage of your degree, and by the end of the degree, you should have 4 years with 60 credits apiece, or in science anyways. And the lab modules in physics in third and fourth year make up about 20 credits. So you kind of just have a lot of lab time, and then it kind of swaps over to more intensive learning. It's not as much continuous assessment in the actual theory classes, but it's a whole lot of fun. Some of the cool classes, we do stellar astrophysics, we do a bunch of quantum mechanics, we do a bunch of thermal physics, we do everything. There's fluid mechanics. There's all assortments of different classes from all parts of physics and maths, which students have to do either compulsory or not. We also in UCD have electives, so these are encouraged to be classes that are outside your discipline. So anything from any other types of classes. So a few examples of classes I've taken. In first year, I did an education class, and I did a bunch of computer science classes. In second year, I did a robotics class and a philosophy class, and then last semester I did a history class, and then this year I'm doing a discovery class, which is introducing me to the culture and society in Japan. So it's completely varied. It's completely away from your own discipline, or it's very encouraged to be away from your own discipline. It doesn't necessarily have to be, if that's not what you want. If you're purely set on one specific thing, but it's always good to get dip your toes in a bunch of different stuff. In terms of field trips, In fourth year we go away. Well, the societies have a bunch of field trips, which I'll talk about in a bit. But there's the fourth years go away to Tenerife every year, to an observatory in Tenerife, and they do, I think it's a 7 to 10 day expedition of just getting data, and then they come home and they write a report about it. And it's kind of one of the highlights of an astrophysics degree. You finally go to an observatory, you apply all the stuff you've learned over the last couple of years, and you write a big report on it at the end, which is really awesome. So I'm looking forward to that next year. In regards to opportunities of studying abroad, all science degrees, most degrees have the opportunity to study abroad, specifically in physics. The options are usually Boulder in Colorado, Connecticut, I think one of the universities of California, UBC in Canada, and then I think Melbourne in Australia also has a place, but it changes from year to year. And then there's also numerous locations in Europe and Asia. It completely depends on kind of where your interests are and what degree you're doing. I myself was going to go study in the University of Connecticut, UConn, last year, but due to COVID-19 I wasn't able to go ahead, but there's loads of opportunities, and it's a very easy process if you want to spend a year or a semester away around third year in our degree. It's a very attainable and very reachable goal. Getting involved in societies and stuff like that. So I myself have been involved in a bunch of societies. I'm currently auditor of the Science Society, which is the biggest charity society in Ireland. Last time I checked anyways. But there's a bunch of other societies you can get involved in. With the Science Society, I joined in first year as a member, went to a bunch of events, made a bunch of friends, had a great time. Second year I was on the committee as a graphic designer, did a bunch of events, did a cycle to Galway, did a bunch of various things, again had a great time. And then third year wanted to continue my involvement and maybe take it to the next level, so went for a senior committee position. But you don't have to do any of that either, you can just be a member and enjoy the events. I do it for a bunch of other societies, like Physics Society, Food Society, Film Society, Musical Society, have great musicals on, and more than likely one of your friends will be part of the actor performing in it as well, so I'm sure you'll get acquainted with the theatre, the Ad Astra Theatre, where they show all that stuff in your time at UCD. But it's an excellent way to make friends and find a sense of belonging and community in science, because anyone that's part of society has the same interests as you. They have the same kind of, they're on the same wavelength. So that's definitely something to get involved in. I'm also part of UCD cycling as well, so there's loads of sports societies. I was involved in snow sports for a little bit, but I'm big into cycling, so there's a huge amount you can get involved in from the sports side of it, so group rides, competitive racing, all that kind of stuff as well. There'll be plenty of opportunity to explore all that as you come to UCD. I guess a lot of people coming in will be unsure of their pathways and stuff like that. I came in through DARE. I guess a lot of people feel that maybe don't deserve the place or anything like that, and that's definitely not the case. For myself, I came in through DARE, had the same feelings. Was I cut out? Was I able for participating in the course? And yeah, definitely, it definitely was able to overcome those feelings, and it definitely isn't the case. Everyone, doesn't always have the most level playing field coming into college. But once you get here, it is, and you do succeed and do thrive, and there is no difference between me and my peers in terms of ability or opportunity to education because of that, which is something very important to keep in mind. In terms of stuff that I give advice for people coming in for the first time, I think it's really important to hang in there. I think the first semester I found very difficult. I found assessment difficult. I failed a bunch of stuff. Was struggling, was going to all my classes, keeping up, studying hard, just was struggling with kind of, I guess, the new environment, and college is tough enough on its own. It's such a big change of scenery. It's tough enough on its own coming in for the first time, not really knowing anyone. For me, I came from a small town. There was only one other student that came to UCD, so I didn't really have any friends off the bat. Well, I made friends within the first week, with peer mentor and the all access weekend and stuff like that, and I'm still friends with them to this day. But it's definitely one of those things, just hang in there. It does get better, you get used to it. Second semester comes around, people more, the camp is better. You've got that 2-week break, the days are longer, and it's a really fantastic experience all in all. And UCD has given me a huge toolkit of skills that I can apply to anything, whether socially or academically. I'm really grateful for the set of skills that I've obtained in my years here, and there's so much more that the university has to offer than just pure academics alone. There's any amount of activities you can get involved in. So with that being said, I hope I see you all around campus at some point, and don't be afraid to come up and have a chat as well. All the best.